So where are you, Jennifer?
I'm sorry, what was the?
You're in Sacramento,
I'm in Folsom, right, just
Yeah.
outside of Sacramento.
That's right.
A little bit further up the hill, a little bit chillier this morning.
It's cold today, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we were in the mid-30s today.
Yeah, us too. And they say there's more rain coming, so I'm just waiting on it. It's good for the mountains, though. We'll take it.
Exactly, yeah, we still have tons of snow.
Right. Good morning, everyone. As you guys are joining in, Gareth and I will be getting started right around 10. So settle in and grab your coffee, and we'll be getting going in a few minutes. Couple more minutes.
Is that heater noisy in the background?
You're hearing noise?
Heater. Can you hear my?
Oh, no, I don't hear it. Why is it starting to crank up?
Well, I just turned it on because my office there's no
Yeah.
insulation in it. It's freezing. So I've got a little heater.
That's mine cranks from the ceiling, and as soon as it kicks on, like I'll probably have to mute myself because mine's loud, but I don't hear yours at all. You're fine.
I might turn it off. It's not too bad in terms of the noise, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, we can't hear it on here, so it's okay. Looks like we got about 16 people joining, and I know Michael had mentioned that there should be quite a few more, so we'll give that a couple more minutes for everyone.
Great. Shall I share my screen, Jennifer, or have you got anything you want to show?
I do not. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and share yours. Get that up and running. Make sure it's all working correctly. Yep, perfect. Beautiful looking. Love that picture. Very famous on the street. And I think we are at the 10 o'clock mark. So in order to respect everybody's time, good morning. Welcome to our webinar this morning. My name is Jennifer Torres. I am with J.E. Brown. I am the Northern California Regional Sales Manager. And so if anybody joining the call here isn't familiar with my name or face at this point, I am, and they're from Northern California, I'm your regional sales manager. So if there's anything you ever need, feel free to reach out to me. We're joined today with Gareth Jelly. He is from ISC, and we are going to be talking about the investment property program. So without further ado, Gareth, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away. Oh, wait, I am going to say this really quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. If anybody has any questions, please place them in the chat, and we will check them throughout the webinar as well as at the end. And we'll make sure we get all those questions answered for you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No problem. Thanks, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gareth Jelly. I am the property head for ISC, and I run the investor program. So what I'm going to do this morning is give you a very quick overview of who ISC are, talk a bit about the program, and then open up to any questions that you have. Again, as Jennifer mentioned, you can email or text the questions in the chat box, and we'll address them then. This will take maybe 15 minutes max, so I won't keep you too long, but I want to give you some hopefully useful information. So in terms of ISC, we are a program administrator, kind of like an MGU. We're based all over the place. We're licensed in 50 states. We're headquartered in San Diego, but we've got offices in New York, Idaho, Louisiana, Texas, scattered across the US. Our focus is putting programs together. So we secure the capacity through the carriers, we put the rating together, we put the forms together, and then we build and distribute the products through our online platform. Part of ISC is a software company. So we do own our own technology and we distribute most products through it. And that allows us to quote, bind, issue, process endorsements quickly, credit card payments, tons of data that's built in. The focal products that we have a trucking program based in Texas. We have a big contractor program. We have a restaurant, bar, tavern program. And then we have the property programs that I kind of head up. So we are fairly focused in those 4 areas, as you can see on the screen. But this morning, we're going to just quickly touch on the investor program. So this product, I'll try and zoom in a little bit, is focusing on landlords, real estate investors, those insureds that own multiple rental dwellings. So it could be maybe a true rental, could be a vacant, a risk under renovation, a condo unit. As long as it's residential in nature, we're interested. We're looking for those schedules of at least 5 properties. So we're not looking for the 1s and 2s, we're looking for at least 5, and we have no maximum. We have some accounts on the books with several thousand properties. So we don't have a cap. We can write as many locations as the insured has. There's no TIV cap on the policy. We do have a limit of 2 million per building. So there is a building TIV limit of 2 million, which is typically plenty for the rentals. And within that 2 million, we're covering obviously the building, the BPP, the business income, renovations. We can also cover water backup. Within our form, we offer ordinance and law for free. That's just a given coverage. We also offer TRIA. So it's a pretty broad form. The default form is special RCV, which comes with theft and water for the most part. We can exclude certain perils. We can offer ACV, but the default will always be a special RCV. Now, in terms of the units, so we can, as you can see on the screen, we can offer up to 8 units. The focus really is the 1 to 4 family, but we will cover 5, 6, 7, 8 units if there are some within the schedule. So we're not looking for a full schedule of 8 unit apartments, but if there are some, a handful within the schedule, we can accommodate those. As you can see from the map, we do write pretty much everywhere. So we're nationwide licensed, and we have the capability of writing in every state. For the purpose of this call, I'm guessing you guys will be more California focused. So we'll obviously address the main exposure of wildfire. We do run every single location through our wildfire scoring. And so we can kind of tell you very quickly whether the risk will qualify or whether we need to increase the pricing. We're not really going after anything wildfire exposed for obvious reasons. We will consider an incidental. So let's say you had a large schedule and 90% of it was scored well, low wildfire scoring, but maybe there were a couple that were slightly higher. We will consider them. But we're not looking for a whole book of wildfire exposed risks at this point. Our data that we run for these schedules provides tons of information. We have something like 900 data points for every location, which is far too many. But what it does mean is we can ask fewer questions, give you a response quicker, and hopefully a price quicker. So some of the key components we look for are wildfire scoring, crime scoring, maybe hail scoring in some of the hail exposed areas, tornadoes. We can find out the protection class, the square footage. So lots of information we know straight away. And again, it reduces the number of questions that we need to ask you. In addition to the property, we can package these policies. So we offer the liability. We're offering $1.2 million on the liability per location. I know some markets are offering $1.2 million for the entire SOV. We offer it per building. So it's a pretty broad offering. In addition to the $1.2 million, we can offer some dog bite liability if required. We can also offer swimming pool liability. So again, pretty broad coverage. We can also cover vacant land. So if on that schedule you've got some vacant land, we can accommodate that as well. We can also consider reporting for. So if you have an insured that's constantly buying and selling properties, we can allow them to report to us on a monthly basis. And we can turn the endorsements around very quickly because of the technology that we have. And just to give you a very quick overview, in order for us to give you a price, we drag our SOV into our portal. It generates a price within seconds. So it's a real quick and easy process. And the same goes for the endorsement process. The paper is A-rated. It's a domestic carrier called American National. It is E&S paper. But they're licensed in all 50 states, which is great. Gives us lots of flexibility. That's pretty much it for the kind of the appetite. I've got a few more points to go over. In terms of just quickly touching on the coastal, I don't imagine you have any coastal, but if you did, we're not really a market for the coastal just yet. The program's been live for a year, so we're still having to earn our spurs, so to speak. So we don't have a ton of coastal capacity. However, we can offer X-Wind on the coast. But again, we can consider incidental. So let's say you had a 90% of the book was inland, maybe California business, but then maybe 10% was in Florida. We could probably consider some of that for the wind. But we're not looking for 100% on the coast at this point. So a couple of other things. So again, we have a minimum of 5 locations. We're not looking for the 1s and 2s. We're looking really for updates to be within the last 35 years in order to qualify for the special RCV. If the updates haven't been done, then it will be a default ACV basic type form. We can write monoline property. We don't have to package everything. We can go monoline property or a package. We don't typically, allow for a monoline GL. Protection class, we can consider all. 1 through 8 is the preferred, and that's typically what you see. But if you did have the odd 9 and 10, we could consider it. Again, we've mentioned swimming pool and dog bite liability is available. Ordnance is part of our policy. We can consider new ventures, and then we take care of all filings and all the inspections. A couple of other nice points. So we can write multiple states on one policy. We're flexible there. We can write multiple named insureds. We can write in the name of a property management company. We can accept any SOV and we can accept any application. Now, we will require this for binding, but we don't need it up front. In terms of the SOV, we can accept any because we have a team that will convert into our format. So we're trying to make the process as easy for you as possible by just accepting the information that you guys have captured. We do look for 3 years loss runs. If you don't have loss runs, we ask that a sign no loss letter be signed. And that is pretty much it at this point. We're live. We've written a good amount of business in the first year. We've written in 44 states to date. So we've got a good spread, but it also shows that we're competitive in most states. California is our 2nd biggest state. So again, it shows that we're pretty competitive in California. And 99% of that is non-wildfire. So we are able to compete on the less brush exposed locations as well. I can't think of it.
We've got a handful of questions coming in. So you want to
field
those right now? Perfect. So one is what is the maximum age with updates? For example, San Francisco has a lot that are built in 1900s and earlier. So I know you mentioned 35 years and updates, but is there any other restrictions there?
So in terms of the age, I'm okay with a 1900. I'm okay with any age building. Ideally, it's been updated in 35 years. If it's partial updates, we will consider it. So there's no age restriction on buildings.
Okay, perfect. Will you consider condo rentals?
Yes, we will.
Perfect. How about, is personal injury available for these?
Personal injury can be. Obviously, California is a slight challenge when it comes to the habitability laws, especially San Francisco, because it's such a tenant-friendly place. It's possible. We do have an exclusion on there, but we've also removed that when it's the right risk.
Okay.
So it's possible.
It's worth a try.
If it's a good risk,
yeah,
good risk,
sure.
good insured, good loss history, we'll try and accommodate. There might be a charge for it, but we'll try and accommodate.
Okay. And you had talked about your wildfire and brush exposure. Do you use Fireline Score?
We use Hazard Hub,
Okay.
which is, we found it to be far more accurate than Fireline.
Okay.
Hence why we use it.
Perfect. How about earthquake coverage? Is that available?
It isn't currently, no.
Okay. Can you write policies in the name of an LLC?
Yeah. To be honest, most of what we see is a business, corporation, LLC, estate, less so, or so, way more so than an individual. So typically what we see is a business.
And then there's one other one. Oh, did you say that you are an admitted carrier?
We are ENS, so non-admitted.
Non-admitted, perfect. And that is all I'm seeing right now as far as questions are concerned. So that's all of them. Was there any other items that you wanted to address?
No, other than we're up and running, we're live. Feel free to send any submissions over that you have. We will turn things around quickly. We're flexible, we're accommodating. We will consider some claim activity. We obviously don't want tons, but we will consider claims. We do write risks that have had claims. So we're an ENS carrier, is to be expected. But yeah, look forward to hopefully writing some business with you guys and also Jay Brown. Looks like there might be another question, Jennifer.
How do we get info on your restaurant and bar program?
Good question. What I'll do, maybe Jennifer, I can put you in touch with our underwriters who write that business, and then you can distribute that.
Sounds great. And we have all of your, all the participants, we have your information, so we will be definitely sending that info over to you. Where are the forms to be submitted? Good question. I don't know if we've set up the process with you yet. We're not live on our website yet, but I will be sure to get that information over to you guys as well, as far as how the process is going to work. And I'll do that immediately. That will be something that I communicate. At this point, I would say go ahead and forward them on to your regional sales manager, and they will be able to distribute them appropriately until we know exactly the process is going to be. You will send the info to us attendees. Yes, I will. Where do we get the supplementals?
I'll send, I think you've got them, Jennifer, but let me just I'll send you this flyer on the screen.
Perfect.
I'll send you the supplemental and the SOV.
Perfect.
And if you could share them.
I will, definitely. We'll get that all out to everybody who's on the call today. And I don't think I missed anything else there. Yep. Looks good. I think we've answered all of them at this point.
Is there anything in the... Okay. What are the limits?
There's a Q&A. Excuse me, you're right. I just missed that. I was looking at the chat. What are the limits on the O&L and water? So
the ordinance is 100% for A, and then 10% shared for B and C.
Great.
The water,
go ahead. Sorry.
The water is whatever the building limit is. So we can sublimit that, but we typically don't unless we need to. And I want to say that because maybe there've been a load of claims we might sublimit. But typically, if it's a good risk with updates, we will offer water at building limit.
Okay. And then there's a question about commission, which I don't know that you would have the answer for that, correct?
I won't answer that one.
Yeah, and we'll get that information out to you as well. When I have that, I'll make sure I get that corrected. I don't want to give the incorrect information when it comes to commission. Never want to mess with the money.
Is there another chat come in? It looks like
It was a repeat of the
Okay.
Q&A that came through.
Got it.
And then there's a great job.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for your time. Appreciate it. And again, look forward to working with you all.
Great. And same, I look forward to contacting all of you. I'll get that information out as soon as possible. And if you have any questions, feel free to call your regional sales manager, or you can also call the 800 number for J.E. Brown, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.